Amador County's local television network, TSPN. And now, TSPN News with Tom Slivick. Comprehensive news because in today's world, you need more than just sound bites. TSPN, streaming on the World Wide Web, and now on demand at tspntv.com. And welcome to TSPN's News for today. I'm Tom Slivick, and I'm with Mike Daly, City Manager for Jackson. How you doing, Mike?
Great. Nice to see you, Tom.
Got some good news and some good news, some not so good news from Jackson.
Yeah,
not that bad.
So. Yeah.
And they'll probably want to find out what it is. So we'll take our break, and then we'll come back, and we'll fill you in on what's happening in the city of Jackson. Stay with us right here on TSPN. And welcome back. So some of the good news for Jackson.
Yeah.
Crew.
Election-wise, we've got
election.
Election.
And Connie Gonzalez.
So yeah, Patrick Crew and Connie Gonzalez were going to be up for re-election this year. They both filed the paperwork they needed to, but nobody else did. So that means that because they're unchallenged, that we can just appoint them, or the council did appoint them back on August 20th to the open seats. So that means we don't have to pay for an election.
Okay, and some facts on that too as well. Like this is the third cycle,
third time in a row.
So six years.
Right.
That,
when they both ran last time, same thing happened. Nobody ran against them, which was 4 years ago.
Right.
And then 2 years ago, Wayne, Keith, and Marilyn ran, and nobody ran against them. So we didn't have to do an election then either.
So it seems like, to me, I think the first conclusion you might want to draw from that is that people are pretty happy with their representation in Jackson.
Right.
Or maybe no one has enough money to buy signs.
Yeah, but it doesn't cost that much money to really run for city council, so it's but it's nice that it saves us the money of having to do all the ballot information and everything. So, it's a little weird that our city council is just appointed, but on the other hand, they've been elected and it's a good thing. So, yeah.
Okay, and so great news there. On the sewer side,
right,
or wastewater, as I think we like to call it.
Yeah, wastewater or sewer, whatever you want to do. We've been looking at studies since I got here, really, back in 2000, to look at what the city's going to do to meet water quality requirements. And the regional board finally told us that we don't have to take our water out of the creek during certain parts of the year, which is very good news for us. But the water quality regulations have tightened so much that we need to make other improvements.
Right. Now, if I could add in there, I think you're not discharging now, right, in the summer?
Yeah, we are.
You are?
We are. Yeah, and it's about 400,000 gallons a day that we discharge into the creek, which really is most of the water that's going into the creek, and why we have to make these improvements that include replacing our chlorine-based disinfection system with an ultraviolet system, ultraviolet light. So we're going to just light it up down there.
Okay, that's a way to sanitize it.
Yep, and our nitrification and denitrification process is going to change, and some other things as well. So it's going to cost some money, and in order to do that, we're going to have to raise our rates, because we haven't had to raise our rates for about 4 years now. Back to 2009, I think, was the first or last increase that we did. And we right now have a Prop 218 notice out to our customers that talks about the improvements and what's necessary and how it's all going to be done, but also a process for protesting if they want to do that.
So how long do the water users have for that?
They have technically until October 14th, but we're going to extend that to October 27th because the notice that we sent said the 18th on it.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, we're going to...
correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you just retire like the water bond?
There were some sewer bonds that got retired about 3 years ago, and then a water bond was greatly reduced, about $250,000 this past fiscal year, which allowed us to hire back an employee that we had to trim off about 4 years ago, and we're going to be able to do some other big projects too.
Okay, so rates are going to go up about how much monthly?
On the sewer side, about $6 a month to start with on January 1st, and then starting in July, on July 1st, they'll go up about another $5 or $6, and then they will until, I think, July of 2018. So it's, it's going to be a good chunk of change out of people's pocket.
In 2018?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think it's comparable to what Sutter Creek, Ione, the county are charging, but we're very fortunate that right now because of the way we've been operating our system and the efficiencies that we've created, that our rates are a lot lower than everybody else.
Mike, can you give people an idea of how long the new system's lifetime would be?
The new system's lifetime should be at least 20 years, and we're hoping for more than that. So, it's hard to say because it seems like
you have to get an idea of what you're paying for, and it should
absolutely, and
investment
so
in the future.
It's very much, and it's a 30-year loan that the city's looking at borrowing, which is only about 1.9%. Not bad, because we're getting it from the state revolving fund.
Was there any matching funds from anyone?
And no matching funds were required.
Paid for everything.
$12 million is what the total cost is supposed to be.
Okay, yeah. But you're going to have that behind you.
We will be looking at that and getting all those improvements done, and then moving forward. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so new signal on Highway 49 and Sutter Street, and 49 and French Bar Road.
Yeah, we've got two that are coming. The 49 and down here at Sutter Street, down in front of Dieter Park.
I saw that.
We've got some things that are going on down there already, but the main construction part of it is either going to take place either this fall or early next spring.
And they moved the Caminiti Monument to help make room for that.
They did.
And that was a up thing because it went up there at Vista Point, and it looks really sharp. A lot of people get to see it now.
It didn't before, yeah. So it's really good.
So good thing. And once again, I'm sure everyone realizes that's a good place for a signal, because that's where the school kids cross that street. And you do a good job out there with your crossing guard,
yeah.
and they've got the lighted crosswalk.
Right.
But this should add some added safety.
It will. And, having a signal there for the kids just to push their own button, for one thing, during the school day. And then also, eventually, there's supposed to be a connection between Sutter Street and Hoffman up the hill.
Oh, right.
And most of the traffic will then come down Sutter Street instead of Hoffman. So you won't have that bad intersection down at Highway 49 and Hoffman.
Okay. Well, what can you tell us about the other one there at
the other one
49 French Bar?
Down at French Bar, down by the dentist office and Taco Bell in that area down there, we've had a lot of accidents down in front of Jackson Creek Plaza, and this should help take care of a lot of that, as well as possibly...
They have, break that traffic up. That's the idea, to give you a chance to pull out.
Absolutely, and a signalized intersection to go through.
Right. A lot of the areas, like if you pull out, say if you're pulling out from the market there, there's not much of a, you usually can turn into the turning in lane, but it's only about 6 feet long.
It can be confusing because some of it is lane that you're supposed to be in, and some of it's the middle lane that you're not supposed to be in.
So it's
it'll be a good thing.
Right. Okay. And like I said, help break up some traffic. All right. So, Sarah, I'm not sure of the time, but why don't we go ahead and take our break at this time, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about a few more things happening in Jackson. I'm Tom Slivick on TSPN with Mike Daly. Stick with us. We'll be right back. And we're back. And we've just been having fun because, there's going to be an organ rally in Jackson, and I was wondering which one of my organs I would bring.
Thanks, yeah.
I think I'll bring all of them internally. But, I bet Motor Ross has something to do with that.
I'll bet he would. You're right. He does.
Now, how do you get him to take that away from Sutter Creek?
I know. I tell you, it's a good win for Jackson there.
Pay?
Yeah.
What'd you have to do?
I know. And the funny thing is, we set this up in like February or something, and then a month or two later is when the Western guys came to town and they wanted to do the Days of 49 event, and it's on the same weekend.
But you can't have them shooting at those monkey grinders.
I know. I think it's going to be very complimentary, though, and it's going to work out really well. So that's September 27th and 28th is when these events are, and most of the organ rally is going to be on the 27th, and most of the Days of 49 is on the 28th.
Okay. And we're talking like really, really, really cool organs.
Yeah.
Like they have the kind that was at a carousels, you know,
Right.
some like that, some that
Yeah.
were, you know, from Germany.
Yep.
Come on over.
They'll be all up and down Main Street on Saturday doing their thing, and then Sunday they're going to do a concert up at the church, so it'll be really nice.
So what do you know about organ grinding?
Organ grinding, not that much, really.
We're not talking swingles here.
I know, it's
You know, I've
it's
done
great.
that. I've you know, gone down there and talked to people, and I found out that, you know, you have a right, you know, like everybody's concerned about their rights, their like constitutional rights.
Sure.
You have the right to be an organ grinder. You have a right to make acoustic music on a street.
Yeah.
And that's I think that came from law from England, came on over here, and it's still there. So
Good news.
I think you probably have to get a permit when you pull those big
When you bring
organ
all
for
of
the
them in,
carousel and all that other stuff.
Yeah, we got that from them.
But we're really, that'll be nice. And of course, anytime, you know, like if you can change the venue, that's good because
Yeah,
people that like
I
it can
agree.
come down and see it.
Yeah.
And the people in Jackson can appreciate
They
it
do.
too because they're down here tending their stores and
Yeah.
they can't get to Sutter Creek on the weekend.
John Monteros is looking forward to being in Jackson, I know. So, yeah, that's going to be a good thing. And then the Days of 49, that'll be very interesting with all the country western regalia, both the wagon train
You know,
and
throw
everything.
throw the
So
date out for that because that's real soon.
that's on September 27th and 28th as well.
Okay.
They're going to parade down Main Street on the 27th at around 10 o'clock in the morning or so.
Okay.
And then, but just keep going. And then they're going to camp out at the Kennedy Mine property where the amphitheater is.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so that'll be really neat. And then on the 28th is when they're going to do their parade about 11 o'clock. And they're going to come down Main Street and then set up and do a lot of Western stuff on the street on Sunday, on the
Okay.
28th.
And John Coelho, hopefully I said your name right, is he's real instrumental in getting that
Absolutely.
thing back. And a
He's
lot
the
of
man.
people that maybe newcomers don't know, John Wayne was a member of the Kit Carson Mountain Man and used to parade up here. So that's
Yeah.
a proud part of Jackson and its
Absolutely.
heritage. And to see that come back, because sometimes we like to think, well, we're the other wine country, which we are, but we're also 49 Gold Rush, and Napa
Yeah.
can't claim that.
No, and there's a lot going on that weekend, everywhere. And here in Jackson, it's going to be really exciting to see. I think, it'll give people a chance, the opportunity to come down and really see some Old West in action.
And you like that shoot 'em up stuff in the street?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Do you jump every time you hear that guy?
Yeah,
blow that
it is a
shotgun off
little loud,
when your
though.
back's turned?
Absolutely.
Oh my God! What was that all about? Right?
Yeah, city manager is going to get it now.
Okay, so that'll be good coming back,
Uh-huh.
and that's gonna be fun. And they're gonna
Yeah.
be camped out once again at the Kennedy.
At the Kennedy Mine, out
The
by
Kennedy
the old,
Mine.
by the amphitheater and the church out there.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
and that's really a good place for some of you that haven't seen. There's a wheel that's not the covered wheel,
Right, number
but there's a
one.
wheel that's standing, and it's up there. It's nice. I think maybe the shade from that tree's giving it a lot of protection.
I think so too.
And you'll want to see that too as well, and
Definitely.
wonder how that thing worked and how it all worked.
Yep.
Okay, and we've got some good news. Well, I guess we say some of the goodest news. That's a news word. I like that. Goodest. Did your kid
Goodest.
ever say that? Okay,
Um,
so the goodest news is
Probably did.
the employee group settlements.
Yeah, we're finally finished with all of our employee groups. We've been talking to them for quite a while. Of course, with the economic conditions, what they've been, we really have pretty much frozen everything until this year, and we're going to be able to give everybody a 2% increase in their regular salary, which is not a whole lot, but it's better than nothing. And they're also getting their step increases restored, which they hadn't had for a while.
Well, I
So-
guess what people are saying that like the economy is kind of like pulling itself up a little bit.
Yeah, we're hoping
That you
so.
were able to.
Enough to be able to do this.
And it's not a lot, but like you say, it's there and it's significant because it does make you feel like you're appreciated
Yeah.
and you're doing a better job. As usually everybody does wind up doing
Right.
more, and in all of this. So the police wind and the I guess the employees wind up with a 2% increase.
Yeah, 2% cost of living increase, and their step increases, a couple of little minor things here and there, but that was the most of it. Our firefighters got a $2.50 raise, which doesn't sound like a great deal of money, but remember, they're only making like $10.44 an hour to begin with. So that's a pretty good increase, huh?
Okay.
Yeah.
And is Jackson Jackson put all the $250 on the table for that? Or is
Yes,
some
we
of that
do.
okay.
Well, it comes out of
Explain
Measure.
how they get paid.
Yeah, they get paid out of Measure M, which is the 0.5% sales tax that was approved back in 2008 for fire service, and that's all it can be used for is paying fire service. You can also use it for a little bit of training, but other than that, for the fire training. But other than that, it's just fire salaries.
For salaries.
And that's all we use it for. Yeah.
Where do you get the monies, where does the whole AFPD, where do they get their funds for the equipment?
Oh, well, from the sources that they've been using before. AFPD, they get a share of the property tax in the county.
Okay.
In the city, it's really just a share of what we have in our general fund revenues.
Okay.
And the fire department's still funded that way with about $250,000 a year going to the fire department.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm maybe going to put you a little bit on the spot. We got a picture, and Susie said, hey, we need to put that up. I think maybe she thought some story or press release came with it. But we have 2 new pieces of fire
Saw
equipment.
that. Nice.
Do we know where those are housed?
I'm not sure where they're housed. They're not ours. So, but we got a new fire tender just about 3 or 4 years ago, which is really nice and does a good job. And some other equipment recently too. So we're in good shape too. But I'm not sure whose those are.
Okay. So you get a report every other week on what the fire department's been doing. Have they been pretty active?
It's been busy. It's amazing. I think they're over 100 calls a month, every month now, and they just keep doing a bang-up job out there. They're doing a great service to the community, and it's definitely been a good thing with Measure M available to do this. Otherwise, we'd really be struggling.
And
right
they
now.
still roll out almost all the time too, as well, like with an accident, because don't know.
Oh, yeah.
You originally, when you get that call, you don't know what will be needed.
I think only about 17% or 15% of the calls are fire related. All the rest are accidents and medical emergencies and miscellaneous things. So they're everywhere and they do a lot. So yeah, we really appreciate them. And Chief Morton has been doing a great job since he became the full-time chief, and we really respect what he's helped to bring along and to develop with the fire department.
Okay,
as well.
and how many employees does Jackson Fire Department have?
Well, we have 5 full-time employees, counting the chief, and then we have about 20 or so volunteers, because we still are very volunteer dependent, and they help fill in shifts when somebody's at training or vacation, and so
you want to keep that out there too, because
Absolutely.
we're
Yeah.
not just here, but like I believe it's almost like 80% of the nation's fire department are
You're right.
volunteers.
You're right.
When you come out, after you leave the big cities,
Yep.
it's you very much rely on your neighbors and people that live with you to show up.
It's really amazing how the volunteers and how many people are really engaged in the fire department, willing to do that kind of work.
Really great way to give back. And I don't know how you can turn out there in your turnouts in the summertime and be around all that heat at the same time.
Yeah, yep. It's a great service that they provide.
It certainly is, Mike. And anything else you'd like to say? Let's cover water conservation. I know
Shall we?
everybody's doing that, and
I know.
I didn't even drink of my water during the newscast. So, how about you?
Yeah, well, the city
Wanna pour
has.
this
Yeah,
back
I
in?
know. That's pretty good. Huh? City's adopted the mandatory water conservation measures that the state has requested, and we've had to do everything that the water agency's doing, and because we're our own water agency, not like the water agency
Right, you buy
itself.
raw.
Right. We actually buy treated water from them.
Okay,
but
I'm sorry.
same
I
thing,
make the same mistake
That's
all
okay.
the time.
But because we're a little smaller than they are, we don't have to do quite the same things. But it's still, don't water during the daytime. Only wash your cars with a hose that shuts off.
Right.
There are all sorts of things like that. And people have been good. You know, we've been saving probably on an average about 10% a month so far, and we want to get that higher.
Okay.
But people are doing a good job, and we haven't had to find anybody or go out and do anything. We do have a few new things at the city that are available for people. The water conservation kits that have the faucet things that aerate the water so that you get more water. It looks like you're getting more water than you actually are. The
Kind of
toilet.
like a jacuzzi. You put that air in there and
Yeah, well, you know.
aerate it, and it. Boy, that jet's really strong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm full of it today.
You are, Tom. The toilet fillers, so
Right.
you're not flushing as much water.
Yeah, and you don't have to use a brick.
No, you don't have to use a brick. And then there was one other thing that we got to. I can't remember what. Oh, it was the I can't remember
Good
what it
things,
was.
all
But
right.
yeah, three things
Okay.
that people are
And the
gonna have
one thing we
available
want to
them.
do, and that is, thank God for giving us this cool weather, because it's
Yeah.
really helping out with the plant life, I'll tell you. Not being able to get watered much, and also putting up with 100 and some odd degree heat.
Absolutely.
We're really lucky we're down here in the 90s and upper 80s,
Upper 80s,
so
yeah.
far.
Yeah.
And I hope I didn't jinx that, so keep it up. Thank you very much, and thanks for coming by, Mike.
Sure thing.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And stay with us. There's more coming up on TSPN.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN. ACES Waste